And we are recording. Don't make me lose my it. I might not be the spookily calm DM if you continue. But where we last left off. We last left off with Admiral Abbigull investigating the investigation board. Or, the investigation wall, since there is no board behind all of those pins. In Jackie's very destroyed apartment. She is connecting dots, and she's doing a wonderful job at connecting those dots.
Helped by the literal strings
more.
that are already connecting them, but you know what? She's doing a good job.
You're doing amazing, sweetie. We love you. I lost my thought for a moment there. There are more things. Never mind. There are more things in the apartment to investigate.
You mentioned papers on the ground. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
So assuming that's an option.
All right.
Let's have a look-see.
So I'm going to go ahead and say that we're moving to the living room, yes?
All right.
That's where the majority of the mess is, anyways.
Another investigation roll?
Not yet.
Not yet.
So, you have... You have two options for the living room portion of it. You have the walls and the tipped-over coffee table. Which would you like to investigate first?
You know what? Let's have a look at those walls.
Roll me an investigation check.
Not bad
16.
At all.
That is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And once again, you do so well that you get literally everything. Alright, well, the first thing that you see is knife holes in the wall.
Oh dear.
Several of them. All in really weird places. As if somebody had been throwing knives.
Fun.
You also see flipper-sized holes. Low to the ground. Lower than you know Jackie to stand. There are cut marks in the paint on the walls. And there are white inky partial flipper prints. But most of all, there's large ash paw prints, too big to be Todd's, going up and down the walls.
Oh.
All the way to the ceiling and to the floor.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that. I mean, Abigail had been starting to think, well, okay, putting some dots together, Ajax is understandably distraught and does a little damaging, but this indicates other people were here. Doesn't like that at all.
It does. It indicates some other things, too. This motherfucker can apparently go onto the walls.
It's never a good thing when someone can ignore gravity like that. Okay. I mean, obviously, especially that roll, she's going to know the ink is going to match up with what was on the envelope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. I think speaking of ink, she had cast color spray to make herself far, far, far harder to spot, and Abigail's color regeneration is slow. It's quite slow.
Mm-hmm.
Unusually so, but it is starting to come back, slowly kind of starting out from the center. She is starting to fill again with some color.
All right.
Whites and blues.
The only other thing that you see on the walls now is a lone knife on the floor, right next to one of the walls. It appears to have recently fallen off.
Well, let's have a look at that, I guess. Trundle on over. Just, I assume it was stuck in the wall and ended up falling out.
Mm-hmm. At some point. It didn't do so while you were here.
Yeah. I don't know, kitchen knife, dagger, butter knife?
No, you were right in the second time. It is a dagger.
Mm.
And it is a it's what looks to be a military grade dagger.
Oh.
Roll me an investigation check.
Ooh. Oh my god! 19!
Heck yeah!
Abbigull
So
is seeing.
she is seeing all.
She is the surprise detective we didn't know we needed.
So it is very clearly a fake.
Oh.
It isn't actually. It doesn't have the code that it would be given if it were actually military.
Well, this says some wonderful and interesting things about past shenanigans for the Admiral to have this knowledge. That's fun. This ties in well. So it's like a bootleg knockoff, someone just wants to look badass in military, but it's not actually. Probably a good quality knife otherwise, but it's not quite what it appears to be.
Exactly.
She's gonna take it. Her knife now. Yoink.
I will say there is also a small piece of metal on one part of the hilt that says AM on it.
Oh. Well, if it's Jackie's, all the better. She can give it back to them when she tracks him down.
Alright. I'm guessing you would want to go to the coffee table next?
Yep, let's check that out. This is a point and click. I'm clicking all the things.
Give me another investigation.
Admiral.
Dear Lord, Abby, you are
Abbigull.
seeing all
Admiral
the things.
Abbigull. It's another
Okay.
19, folks.
All right. So, on the tipped over coffee table, you see oddly shaped bite marks. You see scuff marks. You see claw marks. You see marks that you recognize as Ajax's talons scraping against it, seeming like they had been trying to maybe get it away or pull it closer. It's unclear. But you'll also see more white, inky, partial flipper prints.
Oh. Blood running cold. Abbigull's been operating on the detective mode I didn't know she had. But seeing this is a hot-blooded bird. Action. She wants action. Where are they?
I think
Who did
it
this?
kind of makes sense, though. It weirdly makes sense.
It does. Like, I was saying to my girlfriend earlier, I was like, listen, this bird is just contradictions everywhere. This is just another one of those. This is just another contradiction. I love this bird so much.
We love them so much. Oh gosh.
But this is making her incredibly antsy.
Well, you are behind the divider now. You can see it. At least. Oh, there is something that I failed to mention. The couch is no longer there.
Oh, just straight up gone?
Mm-hmm. The couch isn't there. It wasn't there when you walked in.
I mean, if you're going to take a
The coffee
penguin,
table
maybe you
wasn't
want
there before.
something to sit on as well.
Mm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Uh,
Listen, she's been doing too good. I
but
have to give her some dumb thoughts.
that's fair. Behind the giant, the divider, there we go, that's the word. You do see a giant dog bed though. And it is on some kind of stilts, sort of. It looks to be very cushy. Somebody clearly loves their dog.
As they should.
He's a very good boy.
The goodest boy.
Uh, but it's surprisingly big. Like Todd is a surprisingly big dog, enough as it is. He's bigger than both Abby and Jackie, but it looks bigger than what it should be to fit just him.
Abigail's head is tilting. She's considering that, considering the paw prints like up the walls and across the ceiling, apparently. And just going, new dog? Picked up new dog?
Roll me an intelligence check, please. They would have told you. They would have told you if they had a new dog. Despite it all. And the only other dog you remember there being in their life was the captain. He was dog shaped.
Huh.
But this doesn't look to be as big as he is either. This looks to be some kind of middle ground. You go closer to it.
Yeah, mystery dog. Mystery dog presence. Abigail's taking a closer look.
Alright, roll me another constitution saving throw.
Oh! Man, dogs are just not good news with either of us in terms of our characters. Con save, right? Yeah.
It isn't the dog you should be worried about.
The bed? I should be worried about the bed with my 19 in con?
I was actually about to say you might want to roll with disadvantage. Because this is a really big hotspot.
Yeah, baby! I say that having rolled a 6. I'm excited. Yeah!
You feel the biggest wave of nausea that you have ever felt getting closer to here. And it doesn't smell, but there's this feeling of dread, of despair, of terror. And it's not emanating from. Well, hold on. Never mind. Disregard that for now.
What?
We'll get to that.
What? Oh?
But you are now nauseous, Abigail.
Which is an unusual state of affairs for her because this bird has never been seasick.
That is entirely valid, but this is unfortunately that strong.
Yeah. An unusual experience, but an intense one, and it like hits her out of nowhere. Yeah, stumbles in place. And probably comes to a stop just from like the suddenness, the surprise, and also like the not something that usually happens to me for any reason.
All right.
So,
does she continue though?
Has hesitated with the 6. I think she has to grit her bird teeth? Question mark? Don't like that. Grit her beak, whatever the equivalent is, has to steel herself. But you know what? She's dedicated to wringing all the information she can out of this place before she goes rearing off straight into things. Abigail is someone who runs into things, but she runs into them generally smartly. She needs whatever she can get out of here. So yeah, she does forge forward.
Roll me an investigation check.
Disadvantage because nauseous or just straight?
If you can argue for a straight, then I don't mind.
Well, let's see. I mean, that is the worst she's done so far. That's an 11.
All right.
Do you want his disadvantage?
Uh,
Because, I
do
mean,
you
at
have
this
any
point,
reason? That's fair.
I mean, you just figured because, like, apparently she's feeling nauseous, so I'm wondering if you did want disadvantage. But, like, 11
I was
is already
going
pretty
to
fun.
give her disadvantage, but at the same time, like, this is Abby, and Ajax is someone that she cares about deeply. There's something very wrong, and she's been rolling so well so far. Nah, let's keep it straight.
All right.
All right. Well, with an 11, first, well, I'm gonna save that actually for last. You see a cold and slightly damp bundled up blanket. I want you to roll me a separate intelligence check for that. 16. Um, hmm. You see bits of frost scattered around on the inside of it. You see white ink splotches close to some rips and tears in it. You also see small white feathers. Jackie's feathers. You know those feathers.
Oh,
You've seen
geez.
what happens when they turn white.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And you see some odd circular stains. Roll me another intelligence check with advantage.
4, she might want that advantage. Nat 20?
This makes sense because of that amount of time that Jackie spent with her on board the Salty Squabble after what happened. You know, Jackie. You know how it is that they cry. These are tear stains.
Oh my god. Listen, she's no hesitation. She's stumbling forward quick as she can, feeling as terrible as she does, but also terrible because she did like the general sweep of the place and concluded no one was here. If Jackie was just here the whole time, she didn't realize and had spent all that time, faffing about with the wall. That's terrible.
Uh, good news when you like fling it around. It isn't. There is no Jackie, so they're not here at all.
Yeah, but it's somewhere they've been and somewhere they spent a lot of time. That's the conclusion she's coming to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But with that, with you jumbling and messing around with the bed and the blanket, you actually reveal even more clearly a basket with crochet supplies and an unfinished project inside.
Oh. What's the project?
I don't know, you have to pull it out.
Yep. Reaching in.
Does she do that?
She's gonna do that. And she's like shaking and nauseous, and it's cold. It's very cold. But,
I can imagine.
yep. Reaching in, seeing what
So,
this is about. It might be nothing, it might be something.
so what you see is a half-finished cardigan of multiple colors, light colors, colors that you, Abigail, would like. And when you pull it out completely, out from in the middle of it falls a beautiful necklace that has been carefully beaded. do you pick it up?
You can't see the face I'm making, but I promise you I'm very soft amidst all this going on. Abbigull picks it up, yeah.
Okay. What you see and have in your hands, well, your wings now, is a necklace that is with a little tag on it that says Abbigull.
Ah!
And what it looks like, I don't have a picture of it, unfortunately, but it's a very pretty beaded necklace with silver chain, and the beads that are on it are pink tiger eyes. Granted, I don't know what they mean. I just think that those look pretty.
Ajax just thinks it's neat, and that's valid.
And they're light, but as it gets to where the pendant is, there are two blue ones around the pendant, and the pendant itself seems to be hand carved out of a pearl, a really big pearl, surprisingly, of a seagull holding a small penguin. And this does, in fact, have a function.
Oh?
Mm-hmm.
I am eyes emoji. I don't know if that gets elaborated here or in like DMs after the fact, but oh ho ho.
I'll do it in DMs after the fact because unfortunately I would have to go into the Dungeon Master's vault to grab it.
Yeah, this old seabird's heart is doing things. It's doing big things. You know, growing 3 sizes and all that. It was already like a decent sized heart. But
Congratulations, Abby. You're a mom.
You are a mom. You're a mom. Boogie woogie woogie.
Terrible time to find it out, and well, I have no regrets.
You are mom and you will accept it.
Alright. And that is all that you were able to find with that, unfortunately. Which means that I will have to enact the backup plan.
The what? Whoa, no, what does that mean?
Don't worry about it right now. The floor you can still investigate.
Right, yeah, let's do that.
Roll me an investigation.
Is 2. Abbigull is full of nausea and heart palpitations. Not paying attention anymore at all.
I actually cannot give you jack shit for that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, well, we can come back to that. There's the kitchen, the bathroom, and the laundry room.
Let's go kitchen.
Which would you like to go to?
Let's go kitchen, yeah. Having gone there, is Abbigull exiting the bad zone? Will she begin to feel better?
To an extent. It lingers for it, sort of, but not enough to give you disadvantage anymore.
Woof. Alright.
And there is a trash can in case you might actually need it. So
Abbigull, it should be noted, has not put the necklace away in hammer space. She's still holding it.
Oh, sorry. Sort of, slightly. All right. Roll me investigation.
And she's back on it. She got out of the bad zone and is back on her bullshit. 18.
Alright, well, there surprisingly wasn't that much to look at here in the kitchen. It is suspiciously clean. You know that Ajax loves to keep their house in tip-top order, but at the same time, there are usually things still about that makes it look lived in. It doesn't look lived in. When you go into the fridge, the things that are in there are rotten and untouched.
Oh, kid.
Go into the pantry, and it's pretty much the same.
Mother Pecker hasn't been eating.
But you do, however, on the fridge when you close it, find a checklist.
Oh?
Let me pull it up. It would be great if you would load. Good box, thank you. On the checklist, it says explosives, check. Ball bearings, check. Gunpowder, check. Low friction hull paint, check. One propeller, check. Submarine parts, check. 55,000 tons of explosion welded steel plates,
What?
check. And 4 prop bowlers, check.
Ajax McKellar off the shits. I mean, like, the sheer chaotic energy coming off of this, like, in any other situation where there wasn't so much concerning stuff going on, Abigail would be like, hell yeah. The sheer chaos. They're just like, oh, connecting more dots. Well, alright. Jackie was planning to do something, and hopefully she can figure out where that was so she can follow them and...
Hopefully. And that's all that you find in the kitchen.
Next, I believe I remember hearing there was a laundry room.
Mm-hmm. So you go there?
Yep.
Investigation, please.
17.
Okay. You see everything again. The laundry room is surprisingly dark, and the only light that there is a single exposed light bulb in the middle of the room, dangling from the middle of the ceiling. And you would have to pull the thing that's right next to it in order to turn it on. I'm assuming that you do that.
I'm just checking.
What you see...
I'm checking a spell. Yeah, no, it only affects flames, not like electric lights themselves. Alright, she's giving it a tug. Let there be light.
Alrighty. What you see is the bin. Well, there's 3 bins in the entire house. This bin has burned patches and loose threads in it. And by patches, I mean burned patches that you would recognize from their Glacier Rider jacket. They had long since taken those off of the jacket, but they have been burned now.
Well, sometimes it takes a little arson to get your feelings out, right? Right.
That's what you say, and then you look to the roof of the laundry room, and there's a partial reverse silhouette of a familiar outline. Captain Mobile's outline in smoke that had attached itself to the ceiling.
feathers fluffed full up. Floof. And like it's just an imprint, nothing's happening, just like the shape of him. Just like
And he is huge.
oh.
He takes up almost the entire ceiling.
Abigail's fight or flight instincts are up and they're firmly on fight.
Yeah, for you, Kraken, and the audience, he's about 9 foot tall. He's the same size as
Normally?
Beckett. Mm-hmm. He's very
Beckett's
big and very
9
imposing.
feet tall?
Yeah.
This is news to me. I thought Beckett was bird-sized. I thought Beckett was almost a tiny. This is news.
Oh no. No, he's big. He's big bird.
Oh my god. Okay.
And Captain Mobile is the same size.
About 3 times the size of Abigail, just for reference. And Jackie is smaller than Abigail, so my god.
Mm-hmm. And that's what you get from the laundry room.
Oof. Feathers have fluffed up and they are not kind of back down. There is one last place. What was it?
The bathroom. And you still have the floor if you want to go check that out still.
Right. Let's do bathroom and we'll circle back to floor.
Alright. Alright, so there's the sink and the tub, both of which seem a little odd. Which one would you like to investigate first?
Let's have a look at the tub.
Alright,
With an
make
8.
me an investigation. Alright. You see a plastic tote of some kind of strange liquid filled about an inch high with 6 pieces of paper in it.
Oh. It's like that old-fashioned photo thingy.
Sort of. Is there anything you want to do to see if you...
Like the black room thing.
Do you have any way that you want to try and further see what they are?
Well, I mean, one way would be trying to take them out, she supposes.
Are you sure that this is what you want to do?
That is a dangerous question from a DM right there. Yeah, you know what? It's Abigail. She's sticking her fingies in and gonna pick just a paper, presumably picture, to take out and have a closer look at.
Make me a Constitution saving throw. At disadvantage because you are EPAing.
Ha ha ha.
All right.
Abigail. From reference, that was a 17 and an 18. So,
You feel the sting of bleach.
Oof. Oh my god. You know why it doesn't work? Or it does kinda, but not as bad? Erasure fucking cleric. She just vibes with it. It can't hurt her as bad. She's one with the bleach. She is bleach.
Oh god, that makes a painful amount of sense. But you pick it up. And you're right, it is absolutely photos, and unfortunately, the images in those photos have been completely destroyed with how long they have been sitting in that bleach.
Oof. F. Well, if one is ruined, the others almost all certainly are, so that's a dud, but interesting that there was Black Room shenanigans going on. Let's see what's up with that sink.
Another investigation, if you please.
Nat 1! It was going to happen at some point with all these.
Oh, dear God. Okay.
The bathroom does not like this bird.
Alright, well, at the very least, even with the nat 1, you see an open and used med kit.
Mm. Great. So Abbigull's now me thinking, oh, got the bleach on themselves, didn't they?
Goodness.
Just the.
Abby,
Mm-hmm.
I can sense the denial in Abigail right now. Alright, well, that's
She
all
tries
that
not to think about it too hard, because when she thinks about it, she feels bad. And who wants to feel bad? No.
Oh, you'll have to face your sins eventually, Abby.
Abby, who has committed many sins and doesn't regret many of them, honestly. Not today.
Well, that's all I can give you, unfortunately, with that roll.
Yep.
So there's still the floor.
Still the floor. Let's give that one more go and see if we get anything. So
Yeah.
they're graciously letting me look at it again. An 8.
God. Okay, roll it for me with advantage, please, for the love of God. I think I'm doing it.
The dice said fuck you. That's a 4.
This really did say fuck you, alright.
This is going to be like the one thing that connects all the dots, and Apple's just not going to have it.
I could just say fuck dice parser.
You could. You're the
I could.
DM.
Alright. Well, at the very least, you see more small white feathers. God, there are so many small white feathers. It almost looks like another them. The amount of feathers that there are. You also see flipper-sized holes in the floorboards.
Abigail's just still holding that necklace, still hasn't put it away.
There are more inky white partial flipper prints, smears, and drops. Note, some of it leads to the bathroom. I'm actually going to ask, well, I'll do that in a minute. Is there anything that Abby wants to do to see if she can find anything else?
Let's see, let's think. Her next goal is to figure out a location so that she can go find Jackie. She has a bunch of information, some dots are connected, but she doesn't seem to have much unless she goes back to the articles, maybe that indicates a location. List of supplies in the kitchen. You got the investigation wall.
So I'm going to take a moment and ask the nuts and bolts gallery.
Oh?
Should I say pack the dice and just give Abby something?
I'm watching the
I got
nuts
one.
and bolts with the votes are in.
Votes are in. They are indeed in. All right.
Listen, this. Do you want to say this is divine intervention for this cleric?
We could say it's divine intervention because I said so, and so did the nuts and bolts gallery, and so did you.
Erasure
so
looked at this and said, "Yeah, let's do this."
I can only give you. Well, actually, no. I should be fair. There are 4 things that she has not seen yet. Okay. I can give you 2 things.
Alright.
Alright, so the first thing that you see... Wait, no, there were 3. So I'm gonna keep with the first one then and just give you the one. You see a journal.
Oh.
And it originally says Dream Journal, but Dream has since been crossed out and says Nightmare Journal instead
Oh.
in scratchy black Sharpie.
Oof. Well, Abigail's already snooping the shit out of this whole joint, so what's one more violation of privacy, am I right, fellas? Seagulls know no shame.
That's entirely valid. Alright, well, the first thing that you see are, from the very beginning, several pages of detailed imagery of the horrifying flashbacks and night terrors that they have about what happened to them aboard the Glacier Rider growing up. More specifically, the countless times that they were stolen away from work or meals to serve as Mortis's test subject for what is called, and I quote, the perfect poison. On the very last page that has any writing on it at all, there's a small passage that starts out somewhat normal, if not shaky and seemingly terrified, that gets scratchy and disorganized before, in the very last line, it goes back to being sad and afraid and wibbly. And it reads, I read somewhere in a book that telling someone what's bothering me will help, but they never bring up what to do if you try to tell someone and you just can't get it out. Like something else is forcing you to keep quiet and it's hurting you. I tried telling Abby for 20 years and I can't. The words turning into something else entirely, or I shut down. I don't want to shut down. It isn't me. Why won't it let me go? And in the last line, it says, I'm so tired. I want Abby. I want Mom. Please.
Oh, I need to do a whiz save right there. Yeah, she starts crying. I gave her the +6 and everything, and 8. No, the Admiral's crying. Oh, I feel like it was one of those things where she intended to get the important information, but it was just couldn't stop reading. Couldn't stop reading the whole detailed thing.
God, Abby, I'm so sorry. Somewhere, you don't know really where, at what point, but while she starts crying, there's a soft knock on the door.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have to roll performance to pretend like things are normal. Who could this be? Dear oh dear, don't they know that this is a terrible time? She's got investigating to do. She's got a kid to find. Well, she's not actively crying anymore, but it's a mess. Also, just her color is still coming in. It's still coming back, and I feel like when she started crying, the color also has the effect of looks like it's running.
Oh,
so
God!
She's physically stopped crying, but that effect is still going on. It's like watercolor.
Okay.
So just, well, can't afford to have someone curious coming in here and distracting her from all this bullshit, so just go deal with it and then go find the kid. So, deep breath, straight backed as she always is, straighten her vest, goes to shoo whoever this is from the door. That's her intention.
Well, unfortunately, you don't get put halfway down the hallway when the guy just comes in anyways.
Rude.
And you see before you the next door neighbor, PETA. And roll me an insight check. Okay, even with that 7, he is not hiding it. He sees you, his eyes light up, and he seems to be so relieved. It's like, oh, thank Christ. You got the letter.
Oh, that was you.
It was. And if you remember the orange bunny, PETA is a half-worn, half-UPAN cream-colored bunny, but a lot of his accents are indeed orange. And he's a lop ear, just like the doodle was.
Creamsicle bunny. But just, yeah, PETA sags in relief. Abbigull sags in relief, which is a thing. Abbigull does not slouch. Abbigull does not sag.
You would not believe what I came into when I heard the ruckus from next door. The walls are surprisingly thick, but I still heard something. It was, and they wouldn't tell me. They just asked me to take Todd with me when I went on vacation with the kids, and they left. Wouldn't even let me help them fix. And he pauses. What all have you found?
A lot. Found a lot.
I didn't have the time to really look. That's why I'd come back. I had dropped off the grandkids at the nannies, and I just came back straight back here. It didn't mean to take so long, but she's talkative. I love her to bits, but she's so talkative. Anyways, do you have any idea where they could have gone?
Well, that's the thing
Like,
I'm
tell me
trying to
details.
figure out
Details.
now.
Well, tell me what you may have found, what you have found, and I might be able to help.
Well, it's all about the Glacier Rider and their history, just on it and alive. Oh, Christ. Obviously got some big plan. Ghosts hanging around, maybe. Oh, the magic's gone haywire and hurt, maybe. So, I think. Just okay. The best I've got is double checking where exactly the rider actually kicked the bucket, where the wreck would be.
Well, I think a good place to start would probably be at Saltpier Port. Remember them, what little investigating that I was able to do over the past year, that was its home port.
You've been looking into this too for that long?
Look, it isn't hard to tell, at least that something is wrong. It's difficult having a lot of reporters come in asking about it, and they don't really know how to handle reporters, but I do. I am sort of a cop. Sort of.
Okay, for multiple reasons now. Roll insight. Dirty 20's good. All right. On hearing about just, the reporter shenaniganry and not being much left alone, yeah, Abigail's looking physically kind of guilty because, she was away. She wasn't there. She travels a lot, but she also didn't really know much about it because I don't think Jackie would have told her / made a big deal out of it. Maybe she would have got the sense that it bothered them, but it seemed like it was over. So why dwell, right? And then the other thing, I'm kind of a cop, and she's just like, haha, I have fun with those.
Well, if you press
Peter
further
can't
into
pin her
that,
for shit, but she's still like, haha, A-cab.
Oh no, if you press further into that, you might find some things out. He does like wave his paw hand thing though, and just like it's not what you think it is. More than likely, people automatically assume that nah. But well, I can't really say because then I'll get into some legal trouble. Anyways, I can take you down to Saltpier Port.
That would be mighty appreciated. Uh-oh, I think I accidentally cut up. Am I still here? Hello? No. Ah! Gotta log back in.
Do you follow?
There we go. Alright, hi. I think I disappeared for a moment. Did I miss anything?
Oh! Oh, I don't know. What was the last thing you heard?
Peter saying that he could get her over to Saltpier.
So the only thing that you would have missed is that he asked her to follow, and he's already hopping out of the door.
She's doing that.
All right. He hops down the stairs. He looks a little tired, but he'll be all right. Don't worry about it. And he goes into he goes to his car. And it doesn't look like your average police car. It's just regular tan car.
Well,
and as he's getting into the front seat, he shouts, "I expect you to put on your seatbelt. I'm not exactly going to be the greatest driver."
If you weren't
At least not with...
I'd be telling you
to. Police sirens or no?
Yes. Yes. Are you kidding me? Most of the time when I'm in these, I'm in the back. Police sirens, yes.
All right. And as soon as you're in and buckled up, he doesn't hesitate. He just bulldozes through what he can of the apartment complex, breaks down a wall. Who gives a shit?
Abbigull's cheering.
And people do pull over as he bulldozes through. Police
this
sirens
is like the one bright
running.
spot. Abbigull's having a time. She's just like holding on to a handle and just going, yes, yes.
Oh, and he is full on Tokyo drifting it.
Gas, 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 gotta step on the gas.
Alright. So it only takes an hour and a half to get there. If he weren't going as fast as he was, then it would have taken 3 hours. And this is by car, mind you. When they get there, he doesn't stop at the square, nor does he stop at the regular docks. He goes into what you think is a beach. It's a really weird beach. The beach is just a bunch of black and gray pebbles. There's no sand. And he crashes through a blocked off part of it onto some concrete, and here is a shipyard.
Oh, she likes this cop.
And when he finally stops, hitting the brakes as hard as he can, make me a dexterity saving throw. I'm going to make one for him too.
My favorite stat. Fantastic. Yes.
Oh, you definitely get the wind knocked out of you. And he kind of feels like frick. And both of you are coughing.
Yeah,
You got the worst of it. Sorry about that. Seatbelts off if you can get them off. If not, I'll just cut them off.
I like the cut of your jib.
Like I said, I'm not necessarily what you think of when you think of a cop.
Renegade cop. Cop on the loose. Rogue cop. You're the best ones of those.
I'm more so an auditor, but let's keep that on the down low.
Oh, well.
Cops don't like it when I show up to their place.
They're so touchy. But, yeah, with a 3, is Abbigull able to unbuckle herself? Or does she take out the knife that she picked up from the apartment?
Make a strength check first.
Just scroll back up. Yeah, +1.
Yeah, you're able to get out.
Buff Grandma Burb.
Heck yeah.
All right.
And I am going to make a perception check for him. Abby, in the distance! And he points out towards the ocean.
Cool. Does Abby also need to roll perception, or having it been pointed out, does she just see?
I'm going to give this one to her. She's just going to see when she gets around the other side of the car. And what you see is the tail end of the drifting cube. And it has only just left port. How do you intend to get on it?
She would immediately fly, but PETA cannot fly, and this guy's acting like he's along for the ride, you know, dropped off the kids and all.
Make me a perception check.
A perception check, hell yeah. And next thought goes to Carrie, and then, but it's 25.
With that 19, this is where that terrible storm looks like it has been going.
Ooh.
It is all around you, and now it is starting to rain. Pouring down rain.
Well, she grins.
PETA looks like he's ducking into the car again. It doesn't really look like he's going to go with. Are you sure you're going to be okay out on your own? I can't go with. I have my grandkids I gotta worry about.
Of course. Family's important. You stick with them. And I think, like, still grinning, like, does a roll of the neck, like, you know, crack, 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 crack. Just rolls the neck, cracks knuckles. I'm going to be pecking fantastic. because
All right.
Abbigull is known mostly for, like, fog, creeping, slow change appearing out of nowhere. Erasure can be slow and gradual, but it can also be sudden and violent.
Oh yeah. As
Abbigull is a
soon as you saw
Tempest
those
cleric.
clouds, as soon as you saw those clouds, they responded with violent raining.
Yeah. She can, like, feel the energy of this storm just going around, and it's. Whew. It's an adrenaline pusher. So she's going to tip her cap to PETA, and, I mean, what was that earlier perception roll? Yeah. Anyway, assuming there's nothing any more useful, she's just going to take off, attempt to fly after it.
There is a small boat. You do see that.
She's always been better on a boat than in the air, frankly. Hop in that. Her boat now.
And
free real estate.
exactly. So when you get on this boat and you start to take it out, it is surprisingly fast. It's faster than what you're used to with a small boat.
Oh, and let me tell you, small boats in weather like this, exhilarating.
Oh, absolutely. And it is definitely bouncing around. Make me another dexterity saving throw.
That's a 2, but it brings it down to 1. What does that mean?
Unfortunately, there is a gigantic wave that you didn't expect that knocks straight into the head of the boat and flips it over. About halfway there.
Is she in the drink?
I want you to decide that. You can make me another dex if you want to try and see if she can see it coming. And realize she can't do anything about it.
I mean, I feel like it's already, wave crashing down. She can't do anything about it. What I was kind of more wondering was, does she get launched into the drink, or does this almost accidentally act as a catapult to launch her into the air? Boat's down.
Make me a dex check to see if she can manage to stay in the air.
Oh!
Nat 20! She manages to stay in the air perfectly.
Oh, man. The boat, like, the nose gets driven down into the water and she's in the back. She just gets, like, catapulted into the air, spinning around and somersaulting. And it just, like, launches her further forward. Stroke of misfortune became luck. My God.
Oh, God.
And this is good for Abbigull because being in the water, especially in weather like this, I would have had to roll some things.
And that would have enacted something that would have made this take a little longer.
Yeah. So.
You remember that little thing that I wrote, right?
This is the nervous chuckling of someone who knows. But
well,
that's a whole other EAU. This is not happening. This is canon. Abbigull's in the air. What a nat 20. How's that working out for her?
It's doing all right. It's doing all right.
It's still a storm. She's being buffeted around.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely a storm. Roll me a dex to see if you can land on the deck of the ship, though.
This is another nat 20. This is the single best landing she's done in years.
Oh my God! How? You know what? No, I'm not gonna question it. I'm not gonna question it.
It's the storm. Erasure is here.
All right. Well, would you like to describe how Abby lands?
All right. So Abby is coming up, and she comes up over, and this is like a fairly big ship, right?
It is slightly bigger than the Squabble. It's not as big as the Glacier Rider, that is absolutely for certain.
Well, Abbigull, because need is speed, and also, you know, she is old, tires easily, does not have a bunch of stamina, and so, as quite often she does for landings, just folds her wings in and drops at an angle. Just chew. Gravity is here. And quite often, as is the case in like the text FPS Ike and I did with Ollie's Mansion, more often than not, that results in like some like Abbigull shaped holes in the ground or plowing through a front lawn. This time, nails it. Swoops up at the last second, lands, and it's a wet deck, so like she skids, but it looks cool as fuck.
Oh heck yeah. I'm assuming that there is a slow motion scene where as she's sliding, she has this really cool badass look on her face and the water drops are falling slowly.
That's
and the water on the
exactly it.
is like yes.
That's exactly it. Cause like, yes.
Well, as soon as you stand upright and turn around to face where you know that the door to the inside of the ship should be, you get 3 otter tunes pointing guns at you. And that's where we're gonna end it.
Nice, nice, nice. Oh, Babble, I'm so hype. I can't believe Babble wants to be cool. What the hell?
Oh my god, I'm losing my it!
I'm losing my mind.
Same!
I can't believe it. Like, she's not rolled well in a single game, and then here comes the Warships, and Abbigull says, I'm going to be a badass. Oh, man. So,
Oh,
I mean,
God.
this being longer even than part 1, this is just like full up part 2, I guess. Great.
I mean, I guess it was accidental.
I mean, you know, these things often go longer than the original plans run, so hooray. All right, for good, I'm going to stop my recording, I think.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna. Oh goodness. I'm gonna move to Gen 2 to
Yeah.
like lose my mind.